Position the hand centrally with the elbows in tight, enabling the punch to travel in a straight line, making this strike very practical and direct. The arms remain relaxed and the fist is formed at the last moment in time, then it is returned to a relaxed state. Because of these relaxed, contract, relaxed states the punch travels in, it will increase its speed, making the strike more powerful. The power of the punch works through the elbow and wrist joints, and impact is made with the bottom three knuckles. Notice the hand positioning in this punch. The fingers roll into the palm and the thumb comes over the top, locking it into place to form a very compact and tight fist at the point of impact. Take note that all the punches should strike the same point, irrespective of the number of punches delivered. The arrow punch is practiced and applied at a very rapid pace, making this strike a very practical and effective technique within the Wing Chun system. The side punch is delivered with the same speed and power as the centre line punch, and contact is again with the bottom three knuckles. The side punch can be likened to a ball and chain, with the fist acting as the ball and the arm as the chain, creating a fluid whip-like movement, and it can also be delivered directly to the front. All Wing Chun's blocks rely upon a rotation from the wrist and elbow to deflect an oncoming force. Tan Sao is no different. From the guard position, the block travels from the centre line in an across and upward direction, rotating the wrist and elbow, causing the palm to face upwards on contact. This is the motion that creates a deflection of the oncoming force. All techniques within this system rely upon correct timing, distance, positioning and power, all of which can only be developed through continual practice. Here Tan Sao is delivered from a side angle, firstly displayed at slow speed, building up to normal speed. From the basic horse stance, the turn is executed by turning mainly hips assisted by the knees and ankles. The feet remain flat-footed and rooted for stability. The knees remain bent also, causing further rooting. In this particular technique, the body weight needs to be focused mainly on the back leg, with approximately 70% distribution to the rear. There are three main reasons for turning: to create more power generated from the hips, evasion without too much body motion, and an increase of your reach and a decrease of an opponent's reach when they are directly square to you. Turning must be timed in unison with any technique. This means you must not turn and then strike or strike and then turn, as both will cause a decrease of effectiveness. What must be achieved is a simultaneous turn and strike and block to have the maximum effect. All Wing Chun's kicks are directed mainly at hip level and below, therefore attacking mostly joints. This particular kick, known as low side knee kick, is executed with the least amount of upper body movement possible, therefore not telegraphing your intended kick to the opponent. When delivering this kick, it is important the knee is raised up above the opponent's knee joint and then the kick thrusts forward and down into their knee, creating the intended leg break. Arrow walking will increase momentum and power to your techniques. When practicing this technique, the emphasis should be upon the correct body weight distribution and footwork. Body weight distribution is 70% to the back leg and 30% to the front, with both knees bent and feet parallel, creating the protection of the lower gates. Footwork for this arrow walking technique is as follows. Front foot moves forward, the required distance, and the back foot follows equally. The Wing Chun system has three open hand forms, and this one, Salim Tao, meaning little idea, is considered one of the most important. The purpose of this form is the development of stance, body alignment, basic hand positioning, blocks and strikes, also a strengthening of knees, wrists, elbows and basic muscle groups. front thrust kick is delivered by first bringing the knee up as a form of protection as a gauge for the height of the kick. The foot strikes with the heel and the kick is directed to groin, bladder or hip areas. This kick can come from either the front or back leg depending on positioning and weight distribution. The upper body remains aligned and is protected with forward guard. The support leg is rooted to the floor to add stability and firmness and balance to your technique. The side chop is delivered to an opponent's neck or throat area, making this a very dangerous and lethal strike. Fingers are kept tight together and strike with the outside edge of the hand. Jump is also known as sinking elbow block. The elbow stays close to the centre and pushes forward, in and across with a slight rotation of wrist and elbow and will defend head to chest area. Gung Sao is performed by bringing the elbow out and pushing the hand forward and across the centre line, protecting the stomach and bladder area against a low punch or kick. As always, there is a rotation and deflection at the point of contact. Bong Sao or wing arm block is performed by bringing the elbow out of the centre line and the forearm forward and rotate the wrist and elbow to create a deflection. The shoulders remain relaxed and the fingers look down but in line with the wrist and elbow. The rear hand remains in the guard position behind the wrist. Jump and gun combined is used in extreme conditions, such as a multiple attack on both your upper and lower gates, or when you are unsure of an opponent's strikes, therefore safeguarding at all levels. Here the blocks are displayed on the side view. Jump Sao. Gung and punch. Bong Sao. Jump and gun. And bong combined with tarn and punch. Here Bong Sao is displayed on the turn, creating an angle to evade an oncoming attack, and then with a step in, Turn and punch is delivered to the opponent's inside or outside gates. Triangle walking is used in such a manner allowing the practitioner to move into an opponent at an effective angle on their inside or outside gates. This footwork is normally combined with arrow walking and circling steps, making this technique very effective and dynamic. All footwork techniques rely upon correct positioning, body alignment and balance to place you in the most advantageous position. When practicing this type of footwork, you may start from a 45-degree turn position as shown. From here the front foot moves forward and the back foot follows, protecting the lower gates, and then it shoots forward, turning with the hips into an opposite 45-degree angle, thus changing your body positioning. This technique is one of the longest and fastest upper body strikes within the system. This particular jab is the most basic finger jab. It targets the opponent's throat and eyes, making this very dangerous and practical. All strikes require certain conditioning, and the finger jab is no different. It requires speed and accuracy to be executed correctly. This technique is delivered from the centre and travels in a straight line towards the target with fingers together. The purpose of wall bag training is to develop strength within your technique such as punches, palms and chops. The wall bag will force you to practice under certain resistance and will help develop correct alignment of wrists, elbows, shoulders, hips, knees and ankles, ensuring correct footwork and positioning. It will also enhance muscle groups within the technique's range. It will condition certain areas such as the bottom three knuckles when punching and the edge of the hand when chopping, also the palm when executing palm strikes. It will help you to develop a penetrating energy with your strikes and will ensure correct distance while striking, maintaining relaxed, contract states. The bag will act as a focal point for your techniques, enhancing your accuracy and also allow you to strike full power and full speed.